Afternoon all. How's everybody doing? Afternoon Rahat, Fanor, Franco. Morning, afternoon, whatever it is. Oh, all right, that's all right. Let's turn that one down. It's got too many computers around. So I just got a trade which I'm in at the moment on the DAX. Which I'm just going to try and finish off before I get started. We've got half an hour until the market opens, but just got caught out by this candle. Just been scaling into this position basically on this break. So I've scaled into 3 positions and we've just got this huge bullish engulfing going in, which I'm just waiting to see if this is the pullback on the next leg. This level here on the DAX has been holding for the last kind of 3 or 4 hours, basically, since we broke out the high. So that high there has been holding all morning. So I basically took the break of that. But it looks like it's going to come back and take me out and then drop. I don't want to get into any more drawdown. I got 1% in it already. So afternoon evil. Yeah, that's going to stop me out. Story of my life today. Today is going to be a 3 to 4% loss. Can't do anything about it. This market is impossible to trade at the minute. It's just up and down, up and down, up and down all the time. Every time you get into a position, it's immediately reversed. So you've got to be scalping basically on candle by candle. You've literally got to get in and get out, which means you've got to get in with sort of 1.5 to 2% risk to make any money, which is just not what I like to do. So yeah, I think I might not bother this afternoon. The market's just up and down all the time at the moment. Right, so I just wanted to start off with a quick look at what was happened this morning. So as you're probably aware from this morning's session, we've been stuck in a horrible scalpy range which has been killing everybody all morning. Not really got any directional bias whatsoever. We basically had a slight push up in Asia, and we've just been range bound on the US dollar since the London session opened. Basically every single tiny push up has been reversed, and then it's pushed down, and then it's come back up again. It's just been hideous this morning. So all the indices have done pretty much the same thing. So there's no directional bias whatsoever for the day. I was playing today the pullback. We haven't even had the pullback. So, you know, every time it looked like it was going to start to pull back on this move, ready for another leg down, it's just not doing it. It's just no direction whatsoever at the moment. It's just chewing up orders basically. So gold had a big drop this morning, which seems to again have been completely recovered. So this is one of the reasons I don't like trading gold, because you get these ridiculous moves in for no reason whatsoever. So that's tanked and then pulled straight back up again. Oil didn't really get anywhere this morning. It looked like it was going to start its next leg in London, but as soon as it got there, and it literally only just got there an hour ago, has sort of pulled back again. So really weird market this morning, really weird. Bitcoin sideways, completely dead. So that initial spike we had of a load of buying of Bitcoin has gone flat again. So yeah, very weird morning. Morning, Hamza. So yeah, all over the place today. The news was 115, which was non-farm employment. Came out positive, fairly decent positive figure compared to what it was forecast. But again, that obviously didn't do an awful lot for the US dollar. We didn't get any movement off the back of it. And we've got 2:30, we've got Bullard speaking this afternoon, which is at market open. I'm not quite sure if it says anything. Hosted by the Greater St. Louis. Yeah, so it's not quite sure why they've scheduled that at market open. It's a bit of a funny time to have a talking head at market open, but anyway. And then 3 o'clock this afternoon, we've got the CAD rate announcements. So busy this afternoon. We've got Powell testifying as well at 3 o'clock. So yeah, could have some very, very big volatility in this afternoon's session. So could be an interesting one. EA's basically today I've been digging myself out of these positions. So where are we on the pound US at the minute? Just broken those highs, haven't we? It's an interesting level. So I'm in profit on this, basically. I'm going to close this all out. Let's just get rid of it. Whoops. So I'm flat on H1M5. I'm flat. So I've taken a 1.7% loss on that. Now I'm flat completely on that. I'm not going to turn this EA back on. So protecting that profit basically that I've got in the account at the moment. Managed to bank 1% yesterday. Trying to get myself out of these positions on the pound US. So I've got rid of those today at the moment. So flat completely on H1M5. Tiny little loss on that one. So I'm happy with that. H4M15. Still got drawdown on that, so I've taken 1% loss on that, 1.5% if you count yesterday as well. Pound New Zealand is starting to go the right direction at the moment. It's very difficult, but it is actually going the right way. So I'm going to see if we can get this one into profit this afternoon and just get that one closed out. The Euro odd is last chance saloon on that one. I'm about to close that all out at a loss. We just put the stop down there just in case. I'm pretty sure I've got stops on all of those down there, but I'll put them down there just in case. So yeah, I'm closing that out. That was a wrong play, that Euro odd. I've been saying it for 6 months, don't long the Euro. What do? Stick the EA on and let it long the Euro. It's my own fault. So taken 1.5, going to take about 4%, 5% loss on that account, but still, I've got the profit there to play with, so it's not the end of the world. Hopefully. I should stop saying that. Pound New Zealand on the H4M15 trend pullback. That is going in the right direction as well. So hopefully I'm going to be able to get that one back this afternoon. I'm targeting these lows. So hopefully we'll get a pullback up to those lows around that sort of level. And then if it is going to continue leg down, that's fine, but that's where I'm going to get out and go flat on that one. Say H4, taking a 0.6 loss on that. It's got 20% banked, so 0.6 loss is neither here or there. If this one does pull back, actually, I'm going to just put some stops on this now, just while I'm here, just so that I basically don't want to be in these. If they are going to drop this afternoon, I want to be out and flat. I'd rather take the loss, 2.5%, 3% loss, than have to babysit these anymore. I just don't want to be babysitting any positions at the minute. So that's the only one I've got on there, the Pound New Zealand. And there's a few positions on this one. I've taken a 6% loss on that one this morning. I've got 3% floating at the minute. I just got out of Pound Swiss with a profit. So I took the profit on the Pound Swiss trade this morning. That one there. So I took 3 positions off of that one in profit. And I've got the Pound Odd, the Pound New Zealand, and the Pound CAD. So the Pound Odd and the Pound New Zealand are pretty much there on this account. That's actually a profit, isn't it, up there? So we'll see if we can get some movement on there. Again, targeting these lows. So just looking for a move up to there to get out of those positions on that one. The Pound New Zealand, very, very similar. So targeting these lows for a push up. If it's going to continue to drop, that's fine. Going to do the same on this one. I'm just going to stick stops underneath the lows of the session. so that it gets me out if we do drop. Because if we drop any further today on these, I don't hold out much hope for the pound at the moment. I've really no idea why the pound is so weak at the minute. So I'm going to wait basically on those. They're either going to get me out or get me out at a loss. And then the pound CAD, which I'm babysitting now, we've got Canadian dollar rate announcement this afternoon. So that is either going to go one way or the other. If it goes against, nothing I can do about it. So I shall be getting out with a loss. And if it goes our way, I should be getting out with a profit on those. In fact, what I might do with that one, just trying to think where we're likely to go with this. What's that? That's 40. Oops. 110. So that's break even, isn't it? There. Yeah. Going to go for these highs. Basically yesterday's close. So if we can get up to there, that gets me out of break even on the pound CAD. So that will just close all these positions out with somewhere in the region of a 6% loss, which again protects this 23% from last month. Which for me, I'm quite happy with that. And then I will be sitting on my hands, scalping and waiting for the market to come to some kind of consensus on what it wants to do. But at the moment, it's all over the place. So that's basically where I am with the EAs at the minute and what my plans are on them. So it looks like we're going to take a loss on them for this week. Where we are going to take a loss. Well, I'm going to take a loss on them for this week. So, right. Afternoon to my favourite creator, streamer. Oh, that's nice, David. Thanks. Afternoon, Franco. Hamza, I've already said hello. US dollar CAD looks like it might pop upwards. Story of my life at the minute. Really is the story of my life. Literally just taking my stops, running with them. I was in 1.4% profit on this one. I was going for 1.5% close. Didn't quite give me the 1.5. Came back up, took me out at minus 1.5, and now it's starting to drop. It's just one of those days today. Sometimes you just have to sit there and go, bleh. The market giveth and it taketh away. So US dollar CAD. Let's have a look where we are with that. Yeah, I mean, it's a horrible mess, US dollar CAD. We're literally stuck in a range. Really, 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 really nice range. So, yeah. If it gets back down to here, long it. If it gets back up to there, short it. That's what you've been doing for the last 4 weeks until the market says anything else. Do exactly the same thing. Obviously, bear in mind we've got the CAD. So the CAD news this afternoon, obviously when the rate announcement comes out, they're expected to announce an increase in rates. Typically, when we get news as expected, whether it be a good thing or a bad thing, we get a movement in line with COT bias. COT bias is short. So we would be expecting a push on the US dollar CAD this afternoon. That is what would happen in a normal situation. What will happen this afternoon is very difficult to say. The other thing we've got obviously is Powell testifying at 3 o'clock as well. So whatever happens with that with that Canadian dollar move, if they do put a move in, Powell is going to be speaking at the same time as that comes out. So over the next sort of 5 or 10 minutes, you could see anything happen. So 3 o'clock is going to be a big old potential move this afternoon. So I want to be a little bit careful with it. But I would say that we're looking long on US dollar CAD based on where we did get that breakout. But if any of you are wick-off traders, you'll be looking at this going, hang on a minute, that's a wick-off spring, and we should be looking for an accumulation drop. Guess is as good as mine at the minute. One or the other. Technicals are out the window at the moment, so I would have to go in line with safe haven buying, which is US dollar up. So that goes in line with obviously the Canadian dollar dropping based on the COT report as well. So yeah. That's my take on it anyway. Franco, I'm still new here. I understand that ATR to help to set stop loss. But please explain your use of ADR under normal trading days. There's videos on ADR on YouTube, Franco. I can't really go into it in massive detail because it's all covered in the videos on ADR. But basically, the average daily range, these figures here you can see are the percentage chances or the percentage historically of price exceeding those levels. So 58% of the time, price trades within its average daily range. When it hits its average daily range, it only exceeds 125, 23% of the time. It only exceeds 12% of the time above 150, and so on and so forth. That is in normal times. In the moment, it can do what the hell it likes. So just don't really pay too much attention to it. But it's also a useful tool for position trading, which is how I use it. So if I'm entering into a position, for example, if I was scaling in short on this push here, I would be trying to keep my average entry within an ADR, because when ADR is pushed, i.e. price moves more than its normal ADR, that's when we exit our positions. So it's just understanding price movement. Price has a movement every day, yeah? So every day price moves on average a certain number of pips, points, whatever you want to call it, certain distance. When it's moved that distance, typically, it will either accumulate or reverse. So when we get up here and RSI is extended, the odds are in your favor that that's going to happen. If you are long on a position and it hits ADR high, there's a good chance it will either accumulate or drop. So that's where you want to take profits. So it's just showing you what normal price movement is. Nothing special. It's nothing complicated. It's just math. It's just maths. Right. Is there no Putin indicator? Wow, that is an amazing idea for an EA. What, has nobody done it yet? Surely somebody has come out with a Putin EA. That's gonna make millions. I might just rename an EA. I might make an EA that takes longs or shorts on moving average crossovers and call it the Putin EA and just stick it up and see if everyone buys it. I'm sure they would. Yeah, not going to do that. That's a really bad idea. Right. So ADRs today. So normally, obviously, what we would look at with ADRs is where we are. So CAD Swiss has hit ADR high, so we'd be looking for a drop. Obviously, with the Swiss franc at the moment, money's flying into and out of the Swiss franc as a sort of safe haven currency. A lot less, I have to say, than everything else at the minute, because obviously Swissy being in the Eurozone, it's not being as treated as nicely as it normally is at the minute. But got a nice M pattern potentially forming at the highs up there. So, and we are up at a potential reversal point, double top. So that might be a nice little short, but obviously just bear in mind you want to be using stops at the minute on everything. We've got some other ADRs being hit at the moment. CAD yen, again, pushed up ADR high, again with the news. We've got quite a few ADRs being hit on the pound. Let me just quickly see what the pound's doing. So we've got a bit of a pound push going on at the moment. No, we haven't. Well, the pound yen. Have we got a weak yen at the minute or something? No, it's just normal market movement. So CAD yen, obviously interesting that the CADs have all hit to the upside this morning, and Euro CAD as well is also a hit. Euro CAD's a hit to the downside, obviously, because it's a euro. But the CADs that have hit to the upside could potentially be ready for a correction on the back of that news. So we'll see what happens on those. Euros, obviously, Euro CAD, we don't want to be taking longs on the euro. Euro pound, we don't want to be taking longs on the euro pound. Pound Swiss has hit to the upside. So this is the Swiss franc move. The pound movement that we've been looking for. I've got out of this one already this morning, the pound Swiss. So I've exited that position. And the pound yen moved to the upside as well. So we're looking for longs. We have been looking for longs on the pound. And those two have hit to the upside. So nothing particularly interesting on ADRs. Weeklies, just ignore in the minute. Just can't pay any attention to any of those because they're all over the place. Hourlies. Euro New Zealand, Euro CAD, Euro Odd, all extended to the downside. We looked at these this morning. They're no use whatsoever. And everything, we've got two now extensions, Euro New Zealand and Euro Odd, absolutely shot to the downside. It's just not recovering at all. So, yeah. If only we'd have held on to our shorts. But who'd have known? But yeah, massively extended. All the euros are extended to the downside. All these pounds that are extended to the downside, we are seeing signs of buying pressure. So when we looked this morning, we had that bullish engulfing forming on the pound odd. It is holding. No real decent movement on it yet. Pound New Zealand is holding quite nicely as well. And the pound CAD and the pound Swiss. So the pound Swiss has been moved a lot faster because the Swiss franc's been weak. So these are all decent longs, as I've been saying, and I've got longs on these, but I'm looking just to literally cut my losses and get out of break even on them at the moment because I still don't really know why this is quite so weak, and I'm just worried that it's going to weaken further because we don't know what's around the corner over the next few days, do we? So if all of a sudden NATO gets involved and we have to go in, it's probably not going to be good for the pound, is it? Nothing's going to be good for any currency if that happens. So get as flat as you can, as fast as you can. I'm laughing in tears right now. Putin EA, yeah. I particularly liked... I just watched the address from Biden that he made. And I love his comments at the end of it. And I'm not sure if it's a faux pas or not, but at the end of Biden's speech, just before he signed off and said something about the military, he said, "Go get him, boys," or something like that, or "Go get him." And I think that was a bit of a faux pas because it sounded to me like, "Go get him, we're going to send special forces in to take out Putin." Because why else would you say, "Go get him"? He wasn't even talking about anybody to do with anything to do with Russia. What a thing to say at the end of a speech. That sounded to me like he was planning military operations, either covert or non-covert, to go and get him. He didn't say go get them, i.e. the Russian army, the invading force. He said go get him. Bit weird, isn't it? So, yeah, we'll see what happens over the next couple of days. But if I was Putin, I would be sitting in a very large bunker underground somewhere at the minute, which I'm sure he probably is. What are the parameters? Sane or ballistic? Yeah. Yeah. I'm not even going to joke about it because even if you released a comedy EA onto that marketplace, it would probably sell at the moment if you put the word Putin in it. I'm going to have a look later. See if anybody has actually done one. Let's have a quick look. There's definitely not... oh, look, there I am. There's definitely not new. Let's have a look at new. Invictus. No. No one's been brave enough. Some of these EAs, look. I mean, come on. Batman. Midnight Hunter. EA Thomas. Darwin Evolution. Never ceases to amaze me. Right. Enough of that. Right, so let's have a look at where we are with indices. President Malacca. So, this morning we've had a bit of a move, obviously, on the DAX. We broke out the opening range highs, pulled back, Took out the opening range lows after breaking the opening range lows. So basically we just did a double-ended stop hunt this morning and pushed up higher. I was looking for a move higher today in a pullback, but we didn't get that. So the move I was looking for today was more along the lines of a pullback, a decent pullback into this drop. So we pulled back up into the 38. I missed this trade. Really annoyed I missed this one. It was so, I've got the line. I even had it drawn in, look. 14.0221, yeah? This line here, this level, this low of day before yesterday. The low of yesterday of the AM session. Had it drawn in as a black line, and price came up and touched it, and I didn't see it. Put a lovely big bearish engulfing in and dropped, and I completely missed it. Really annoyed. But I was looking for it to get deeper than that, up into this move, and it didn't. So I've got a feeling we may have put the high of the day in already today. So I'm looking potentially at short possibilities today on the DAX. At the moment, I think I'm about 2.5%. Yeah, 2.5% down today. So not been a good morning. Pulled it back to just under 1%, and then screwed it up again. $300 down roughly on futures as well from this morning. So yeah, been a tough morning, been chopped around quite a lot. So again, with the S&P, all the indices basically, we've done the pullback. So looking for continuation drop off of yesterday's move. But at the moment, we are sitting in an inside bar, which we haven't broken out of, which I pointed out yesterday. So we did get the push up and the drop yesterday that I was looking for. Today we've had the push up and we're starting potentially the drop of the next leg down. So it does look like it wants to go short. Obviously, it's pretty organized market structure. If you look at the market structure we normally have on the S&P, yeah, and all the other indices, when it's trending nicely in an upward movement, we are very, very orderly, very organized as we go. When we're normally in a trend, so we push up, we pull back, we push up, we pull back, we push up, pull back, push up, pull back. It's very, very organized. There's no reason why we shouldn't be that organized on the way down. And if that is going to be the case, this is probably the pullback and drop. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. I don't like the size of this rejection when we got these lows. Yeah, we took these lows out and rejected quite harshly on all the indices. So it's a difficult call, this level here, and this inside bar at the moment shows that the market is really undecided as well as to which way it wants to go. It's difficult to short indices, so I think the whole market's having a little bit of a problem trying to short this at the minute, but with what's going on at the moment, that's what we should be looking for, I think. So that's the play this afternoon, is to look for short opportunities. So market is open, and we've got Bullard speaking at the moment at the open. So 3 o'clock, we need to be aware of obviously what's going on with the indices when we got the CAD announcement and Powell testifying. So at the moment we're completely sideways. I'm just going to turn auto trading off for the moment. Because we've got no directional bias, so I want to wait until we've got some trend direction before I start looking for the EA to get me into positions. Very, very difficult today. Hard to know which way we're going to take this at the open as well. So I've got a feeling the fact that we've broken down on the DAX I think we're probably going to want to go straight short from here, but we'll see. Let's see what the other indices are up to. Yeah, everything seems to be coming down at the open at the moment. The financial warfare is far more dangerous, Hamza, yeah. I think I'm more worried about the nuclear warfare, as I think most people are at the moment. Quite possibly crazy enough to do that, isn't he? Okay, so we've got a fairly decent opening range gone in at the moment. Back to the centre. My flip a coin comments last stream were right. Yeah, it literally is at the minute. As long as you've got a positive risk reward, you've got as much chance of anybody of being right on anything at the moment. It is like that at the minute. But then it comes down to strike rate at the end of the day, and if you're in a choppy market, your strike rate is going to be affected. Unless you're getting in and out very, 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 very quickly, which obviously is an awful lot more difficult to do. But I had a couple of good opportunities to take profit today, which I missed, especially this one, which I kick myself about. That short there, I was in 1.4% there, and I was going for 1.5. And then it came back and took me out. But hey, c'est la vie. Okay, we've got divergence on the Dow and the Nasdaq at the moment. We've got Dow pushing up, Nasdaq pushing down. Couldn't make it any more difficult, could they? Okay, short one in the S&P. Just going off the back of the Nas is running away pretty quick at the moment at the open. Assuming the S&P is going to follow suit. Okay, taking a bracket trade on the opening range. So we've got just under a 400 point opening range, which is a nice tight opening range. Aussie dollar, US dollar fighting resistance. Yeah. Pound US dollar is starting to come down. US dollar is pushing. US dollar is pushing against the yen. All US dollar pairs seem to be coming down. Everything's coming down against the US. So we've got a strong US open. It's only the first candle though, so. Not really going anywhere on the DAX at the minute. Can't talk. Going to gather up into a second position if we break the lows of that candle. So just looking for the that low, that first 5-minute candle break to the downside to get into a second position. Just watching the BBC News on on my other monitor, and they've got the boxer who's the can't remember his name, Klitschko, is it? Who's the Ukrainian mayor, isn't he? I think. And there's a guy standing next to him, and the two of them next to each other just look like your typical sort of Russian gangsters. I know they're not, but that look of, like, you know, the broad nose. You'd imagine them to wear, if anybody's been playing Grand Theft Auto, imagine them be wearing a tracksuit, running around, stealing cars. It's got that look. I wouldn't want to say that to his face. He's a very good boxer. Still indecision on the S&P on the 5-minute opening range. Same on the DAX. No directional bias as yet. No movement as yet. We have broken back above this support as well. So want to see a clear break today, and then that level go. Then we should be good for a push down, but at the moment there's no directional bias at all on anything. Okay, inside bar on the DAX. Not going anywhere yet. There's a good chance as well that we're going to sit around today until 3 o'clock, until the Canadian dollar rates are announced. So we could well just see a horrible sideways market, which is fine, because if we do push up to there, I might add another one up the top. And assume that we're going to come back down range bound, but it doesn't look like we are. We're off long. Okay, buying one. Big, strong move that. Wow. Okay, so I've got into the breakout position. Euro US dollar moving down. Yeah, US dollar's pushing hard at the moment. Euro US dollar down isn't good for me. I want the euro to go up. I'm not really worried, to be honest, at the moment. You know, the best thing for me at the moment is for that to just hurry up and take me out one way or the other. I don't care at the moment which way it goes. I just want to be flat to get out of these positions, basically. Pound New Zealand. Which account? I'm sure I had a euro open. Is this one, wasn't it? Yeah. So there you go. So I've taken the amount. I'm out on the euros. Flat euro odd. Out. Just best to be flat. Get out. Thing is not coming back anytime soon. The pounds, though, I think the pounds are still got half a chance. So I'm letting those run. Okay, so we've got strong NAS movement at the moment. So I'm going to go one long. Today, I'm going to give everything a bit of a wide berth, I think. Okay, putting auto trading on. I'm going to go for 1%. Too long. Just going to see what reaction we get at these highs. See if we can get a clean break. Looking for a pullback into this area, 43.30. Potentially for a continuation to the upside if we don't pop it straight away and go. So it does look like it wants to maybe push up, challenge the highs, or put in more of a correction today at the moment. What's this guy saying? Euro US dollar up 15 pips. What? Okay, so we've got propulsion gap put in now. So look for buying in this area. I'm going to go for a home run on this. See how we hold up in this area here. So it's pretty strong at the moment, this move to the upside on all the indices. If we are going to come up and challenge those highs, I'm going to try and get a decent try and get some of that loss back today. We're struggling on the S&P. Dow's pushing through, trying to. Dow's just taking out the highs. Yeah, Franco, if you're doing well this morning, I would definitely take your money and run. It's potentially going to be one of those days today. UK 100 popping above 74.14 may continue up. Yeah, all indices are up today at the moment by the looks of things. Well, we are certainly are at the moment anyway. But this is, we're getting these moves putting in, and then the market is completely, this is just a typical chop day where you can't get a hold on a position. So you'll get a push up and then it will go like that, and then it'll push back up again, and you'll get these wide expanding ranges like we've had this morning. Let's just draw it in properly. Yeah, these expanding ranges are incredibly difficult to trade because every time you get a signal long, they reverse it. So the fact that this is pushing at the moment doesn't mean necessarily that we are going to get a challenge of the highs. At the moment, nothing's gone textbook at all this morning. So we're down 2.5. Cancelling pending orders off. Okay, closing that out, 30-point profit. Just chipping away at that for a minute. Closing those out. I'm going to wait for a pullback to get into another position. We're hitting potential selling area there, and also we're just taking out these highs and potentially hitting resistance. So I'm just going to wait for a pullback. See if we can find a long entry. Just want to. I don't want to be in anything too long at the moment. I haven't got the EA set to take strong closes because I don't want to take anything that's extended. Obviously, you'd need a much bigger stop on it on those. Really, rather take some pullback entries. So inside range bars, long wicks, bullish engulfings after a pullback, inside two inside bar setups, that sort of stuff. So I'm still not convinced about a long yet, but that guy running down the block is me with 32 pips profit. Take it. Take it and run, Franco. Done well banking today. So I'm looking for a pullback. And then looking to place pending orders to get in initially just up to these highs, see what happens when we get to these highs, see if we're going to retest those. Then we've got rejection across the other indices at the moment. Adrian ripped 3.4k on the Nasdaq. Shame it's an evaluation. Yeah, that's not bad though. Nothing wrong with that. Evaluation is evaluation. You're obviously trading full size contracts as well. Yeah, easiest way to pass an evaluation is on full size contracts. Easiest way to fail an evaluation is also on full size contracts. Depends on the size of the account, obviously. But yeah, full size contracts are once you've built a buffer, the way forward. But okay, so we've got a pullback starting at the moment on the S&P. I'm going with a bit more aggressive size here. I'm going in 2 contracts long when we break those highs. And I'm going to put a buy limit back down on that wick test there. DAX is not pulling back at the moment. It's unfortunate. Just about to get a propulsion gap painted there. So going long. Oh, long one. That's a bit close. Bit close. Bit close. That was way too aggressive. Had that set up for last candle. I was going to take a trade on that candle with a pending order below that low. Did not mean to get in there. That's 0.5% gone. Right. I might be lucky with this one. If this is a good winning trade, it's a lucky one. But I take luck at the minute. Okay, so we've got the pullback starting on the S&P. Yeah. God, that was a stupid mistake. So what I was meant to do was have a pending order above that high and a stop below that low. But I mistimed the entry. So I'm going to switch back to pip mode. That's the type of order that I did want to place. So we filled that gap. So looking for a pullback potentially into this area. which obviously will be a pullback also to the moving averages, and then looking for continuation back up to these highs. Stupid mistake that was. Okay, so buy limit hopefully about to get triggered. Doesn't look like it's going to give it to me. So I'll have a quick look at oil. So a nice decent move pullback on oil at the minute. This has got quite a long way to come. All the way back down to here. I'm not sure it's going to get all the way back down to there before we get a next leg up. Can't see any reason why it shouldn't continue to get more expensive. Obviously, unless the war peters out. Okay, entering one long, just tested this area. Buyers have stepped in there. Pound New Zealand is pulling back at the open. A little bit of strength coming through on the euros. A little too late, I think. We've got 1 minute till Canadian dollar rate announcements. So if you've got any CAD on, keep an eye on your CAD. And we've also got Powell about to testify as well in 1 minute. 20 seconds. Just seeing what I've got on CAD wise. So I've got a pound CAD long on the EA as well. So hoping for negative movement on the CAD. Spread. Untradeable. Euro CAD RSI low. Euro CAD. Let's hit ADR. Yeah. Positive CAD. That's not good. Just checking whilst on a short break at work. Afternoon, Andy. Took a GC long earlier. Took profit around 25 pips in and out quickly. Yeah. That is the order of the day. So my stop on this is below these lows on the pound CAD. So still in at the moment. Hopefully this is just a knee-jerk reaction on the CAD and we're going to get the pop from here, but we'll see. Keep an eye on everything at the moment because Powell is talking at the moment now as well. So the Canadian rate came out as expected, increased to 0.5. Inflation everywhere. Okay, so I've had the pullback, potentially looking for a break of this high. DAX is struggling a little bit more than the other indices at the moment. Nice wick going in on the pound CAD M5. Looks like that was just a knee-jerk reaction. Should be short CAD on that news. We should be seeing weakness in the CAD, not strength. But at the moment, anything can happen. Dow is off, S&P following suit. NAS is a bit slow today. There's real non-confluence between the Dow and the NAS today. Getting real mixed messages from those two at the minute. Good moves on the DAX. Just a quick look at the other CAD pairs. So same move on the Aussie CAD. Looks like that was just a whipsaw. So we should be seeing the CAD come down off the back of that news. So it is literally a whipsaw move by the looks of things. We should see a decent push up on everything against the CAD now. Powell, I'm not sure how long Powell's talking for. So he is just testifying. There is no press conference. Or is there? Oh yeah, there is a Q&A session afterwards. So he could see volatility for the next sort of 15, 20 minutes. Need to be in and out fairly quick, just in case he says something to flip the opposite way. Okay, into second position there. I'm trading 2 contracts at a time here, so 4 long. Bullish engulfing. If we can break those highs, hopefully we'll get a continuation to the upside. Dow's definitely done it. Buyers have stepped in on the NAS. Looking bullish. Okay, got bullish engulfing. Got pending order above that high for a bullish engulfing. I've already got gathered into one position up there. Be entering another position if we get a break above the highs. Jeez. Untradeable this today. Absolutely untradeable. All over the place. Market's not got a clue. Really hasn't. No, stopping out on that as well. I'm going to call it a day. There's no directional bias on this. You either have to flip a coin with 10 contracts and get out, take 10 pips, or you're just going to get chopped to bits today. There's just no logic at all to any movement in any market. This thing will push down now, and then as soon as you short it, it'll pop. It's just a nightmare. Not good trading conditions at all. Closing that out. There's no point in taking the stop loss on it. I might as well take 0.25% instead of 0.5% because it's not going to go anywhere. I think I'm going to call it a day, to be honest. There's no point in trying to trade this. This is an utter mess today. Utter mess. The market's not going anywhere with any logic whatsoever. It's been doing it all morning, and I'm not going to sit through another session like this morning and try and second guess which way this thing's going today. It really doesn't know. So Powell's testifying at the moment. We've got potentially sort of 15-20 minutes of volatility where you could just get whipsawed all over the place. He'll probably be finished about 20 past, half past. I can only imagine this is moving off the back of something that he's saying at the moment. Because there's no reason for that. Massive correction. But if you try and short that now, you'll see something bullish and we'll be off in the other direction. So 520 lost. That's a nightmare. Well, it's not a nightmare. It's not a lot, but it's considering this morning I'd pulled that back to sort of $150. To take that sort of loss of at the open, it's just a nightmare. So I've got a sell stop on that bearish engulfing. I'm going to see if that plays out, but moving averages are just basically staking at the moment. Yeah, you're just going to get chopped to bits in there. So I might let the EA just auto trade for me this afternoon and see if it can gather some of that money back. Just using a sort of intermediate stop really and just targeting 1.5%. If I can get a couple of good trades in this afternoon off of 1.5%, that'll bring me back to break even, which I'll be happy with today. So that's my plan this afternoon. Just going to try and let the EA trade me into a couple of decent positions where we can get 1.5% in the bank, which is only that sort of movement. So that's all we're looking for is a couple of decent 5-minute candles and you're done. That's all you need. You need to catch one of those moves. So I'm going to see if I can catch one of those with the EA. But other than that, there's no real point in trying to pick a directional bias on this because it is just whipsawing at the moment. And I don't really want to get into any more drawdown on anything. So what a nightmare day. Who else is trading this afternoon? Anybody else going to carry on? We'll have a quick rundown of where we are with pairs at the minute. Let's have a quick look at the CAD. Right, so the CAD movement has worked out. At least something's worked out as I was expecting it to this afternoon. Canadian dollar is dropping. So that pound CAD trade that I've got on the EA, should be able to get that one out this afternoon. Pound New Zealand, pound odd, and pound CAD. Those three basically. Not looking for a lot of movement again on these. This is 15-minute chart, so I'm literally looking for half an hour to an hour push on the pound, and we're done. And then I'm flat on those. So that's kind of really all we can look at this afternoon for those. But the Canadian dollar, obviously, we should see some decent movement to the downside on the CAD this afternoon. But at the moment, who knows? David will be on the charts. Decided to take the Aussie dollar US short. Yeah. Just be a bit careful. Obviously, US dollar at the moment with Powell speaking. That could go either way today. Going to give it a go, but being very cautious. Yeah. I think today, with the way it's going today, probably what your best bet is take solid price action like that with something like 1 to 1.5%. Yeah. And put a decent size stop on it. So sort of keep a 6, like with this case here, you see a big candle like that, which is 800 points. Average on this is probably somewhere around about the 600 point mark at the moment. Keep a decent 600 point loss with a high risk on it, and literally go for one trade and try and take 0.75%. So you're using a negative risk reward ratio, but getting out really fast, because when you get these candles, these strong close candles coming in, you're going to get the follow through on them. Yeah. So the strong close and a follow through. Yeah. Bearish engulfing, little bit of a follow through there. Bullish engulfing, little bit of a follow through. Yeah, that's all you're getting. You're getting these tiny little follow-through moves. These sorts of nice, strong, trending moves, just not happening today. So I think that's the key to it today, is just to keep it really simple and short. Get out fast and just bag small profits. 0.5%, 0.75%. If you can do that 2 or 3 times, call it a day. Yeah, so got inside range bar there. Pending order underneath there. If we can push down there by 0.5%, 0.75%, just jump ship, get out. And if it flies, it flies. Let it fly. Then you'll be looking for short pullbacks. I think that's kind of the name of the game today, because it's just whipsaw. You can see it. This is what's been happening all morning. I've managed to grab it back this morning, literally to within 1% of break even across the board, and a couple of trades to the downside, and it just ends up beating you up all the time. So very, very, very difficult day. It's probably the most difficult day I've had for a while today. But what do you do with that? Long it or short it? Difficult. Very, very, very difficult. Very, very big sell volume in there. We had that as well this morning, which completely killed us. We went up to, I think it was 17,000 contracts. 18,000 contracts suddenly dumped long for no reason whatsoever during the middle of the Frankfurt session, London session. So, what the hell? So I played that long, and I took that out of it, which was good. But there's very weird things going on at the minute. Be very careful. Right, so I've got no directional bias on the day at the moment because, as I say, we are chopping sideways. This could go either way. So I think all you can do really is just move in line with the averages. So if you can get the market moving, a slope on the moving average at all, giving us some kind of indication of a trend direction today, just trade in line with trend. It's really all you can do. Look for bullish price action, bearish price action in line with trend. But as I say, I think the futures, I'm probably going to give this a miss this afternoon because I don't want to be limited to contracts sizing. I'd rather be working off of risk this afternoon percentage wise, and try and get some nice plays in with decent sized stops, so you're not going to get stopped out, and just go for mediocre profits and just try and chip away. And if you've got a profit target, stick to it. When you've hit it, get out. Yeah, if you can get 1%, 2% in the bank, you're doing really well today. So tomorrow morning, I am here at 7:50 because I haven't got a class tomorrow morning. I forgot. So what I've done is I've put on the website, on the live room page, the updated schedule. So when the website decides to load, thank you. So for the morning sessions, basically, we're going to be starting at 7:50 in the morning, 8 o'clock on Thursdays. Hopefully, basically, I have a class, spin class, at 6:45 on a Thursday morning, and I'm home by quarter to 7. So I'm not going to make that, but I should be able to make that 8 o'clock. But tomorrow it will be at 7:50 because I haven't got a class tomorrow. And then as normal, it's the 2 o'clock sessions for New York. That's the new schedule now, which I'm going to stick to and try and keep that going for a couple of weeks and see how that goes. Scalping the Frankfurt session. But yeah, so I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7:50, and we'll have a look at Frankfurt and see what's going on with that. 1 minute scalping, Rahat, workable instead is going to be fast. Yeah, you could drop down to 1 minute, definitely. Obviously, 1 minute you're going to get an awful lot more signals. So just got to be obviously aware it's a lot faster. And when you get these big moves like this, which we just got on the 5 minute chart, it's very tempting to get in on shallow pullbacks on them. But yeah, I mean, 1 minute might be the way forward today. But obviously you are trading a lot more chop. So price action is a lot less reliable on the lower time frames. To be honest, the best time frame probably to go up to today is going to be something like M15 with much, much wider stops. So looking at something around about 1,000 point stop on something like the DAX. If you'd have been trading this bearish engulfing there, you'd have had a nice candle out of it. Strong close, nice candle there. You'd have got stopped out a lot less. You'd have got stopped out on that one. You'd have taken that one, got a bit out of that, which I did. I've had some decent trades this morning. As I say, I've took some buys on these really nice moves and got them spot on. But then the market has just gone into odd corrections. Very, 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 very strange session. But yeah, 1 minute is probably not a bad thing to do at the minute, is to drop down to 1 minute. We've got crude in 10 minutes as well, so be aware of that. Possibly some more movement on the CAD when that's released, 3:30. That should be just about when Powell is finishing, I would imagine. So keep your eyes peeled at 3:30 as well on if you've got any CADs on. So yeah, it's still not a massive movelet off the back of that. Pull back, short. See a 0.3 on that. Do I want to? Just going to extend my stop on that position and give this a bit more breathing room for shorts. I've got some pending orders on there, so looking to drag that back down. But again, we're in an expanding wedge at the moment, so there's no way to trade market structure off of this effectively. We haven't had enough movement, but we have got the opening range break, which we got. But obviously the pullback has not worked. So if we do get an opening range break to the low, that I think is going to be your direction of the day. But just be very careful today. Doesn't seem right, the market today at all. Hasn't seemed right all morning, so be wary. So I will be in the Telegram group if you need me. Anything you need, obviously come in there and I can discuss. If you need any help with the indicators or anything, or if you've got any positions as well that you're in that you're worried about or you're struggling with, feel free to DM me if you've got any positions that you're in, position trading positions. But this afternoon's plan is really just to babysit these pound trades and try and get out of these pound trades and get flat on those. And then sit out the next week or so, as I say, and just play short term when the market's playing ball. But you're going to get down days, so you just have to live with them, unfortunately. Part of doing business. All right, so I'm going to leave it there this afternoon. And if you need anything, let me know. I'll update in the Telegram group with what goes on with these trades, assuming they play out. If they don't play out, I won't let you know. So if you don't hear from me, that's got stopped out and I've given up. If we get some market structure starting, then I'll start posting the positions in, because this is just going to auto trade south at the moment on me. But at the moment, we're in danger of breaking back above there and looking for long opportunities. So, sad, isn't it? Right. Okay. I'll leave it there. Anything you need, let me know in the Telegram group. Otherwise, I will be back tomorrow morning at 7:50 and we'll get ready to trade the Frankfurt Open. All right. Have a good afternoon. Good luck. Trade safe.